Ever find yourself wondering where all your money went at the end of the month? Well, you're not alone. So many of us have been there, scratching our heads, staring at our bank accounts and asking the same question. But guess what? There's a solution to this mystery, and it's called budgeting. Now I know what you're thinking. Budgeting. That sounds like such a chore, right? But let's take a moment to flip the script. Budgeting isn't a chore. It's your financial compass. It's a roadmap to your financial goals, and it's the best way to take control of your money. So why is budgeting important? Well, let's break it down. First, budgeting helps you control your spending. It's like a fitness tracker for your finances, keeping tabs on where your money is going and helping you stay on track. Just as you wouldn't go for a run without tracking your distance, you shouldn't spend money without tracking where it's going. Second, budgeting helps you save money. When you start to budget, you'll quickly notice where you're overspending, and that's when you can start making changes. Cut back on those fancy coffees, brown bag your lunch, or skip that extra pair of shoes. Small changes can lead to big savings. Third, budgeting helps you reach your financial goals. Whether you're saving for a new car, a dream vacation, or just a rainy day, a budget is your roadmap to get there. It's like your personal financial GPS, guiding you towards your destination. But remember, budgeting isn't about depriving yourself of the things you love. It's not about living on a shoestring or eating ramen noodles every night. No, budgeting is about making smart choices with your money. It's about prioritizing your financial goals and making your money work for you. So let's demystify budgeting together. Let's take control of our finances and let's start making our money work for us. Because remember, budgeting is not about restricting yourself, it's about making your money work effectively for you. Ever heard of the 50-30-20 rule? No, it's not a new diet plan. It's actually a popular budgeting method that might just change the way you manage your money. Let's break it down. Imagine your monthly income as a big, delicious pie. The 50-30-20 rule suggests you slice that pie into 3 parts. The biggest slice, half of the pie, is for your necessities. These are the things you absolutely can't live without. Think rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, and transportation. Now the next slice, which is 30% of your pie, is for your wants. Yes, we're talking about those shiny new sneakers, that concert ticket, or your Netflix subscription. This is the fun part of your budget, but remember, it's a smaller piece of the pie, so you might have to make some choices about what you really want. Finally, the smallest slice, 20% of your income, is for savings or paying off debt. This could be anything from contributing to a retirement fund, saving for a dream vacation, or paying down credit card debt. It's not the most exciting part of your budget, but it's arguably the most important. So, what's the deal with this method? Well, its beauty lies in its simplicity. It's a straightforward way to organize your spending and saving, and it can be a great starting point for those new to budgeting. It can also work for a range of income levels, as it's based on percentages rather than fixed amounts. However, like any budgeting method, the 50-30-20 rule isn't perfect. It might not work well for those with high levels of debt, or those with lower incomes who may struggle to allocate only 50% to necessities. And it doesn't account for individual circumstances or financial goals, so it's important to tweak it to fit your needs. The 50-30-20 rule is a simple and straightforward method that works well for many people, but it's not the only way to budget. So, if you're ready to take control of your money, why not give it a try? You might just find it's a recipe for financial success. Remember when Grandma used to stash cash in envelopes? Turns out she was onto something. The envelope system is a tried and true method of budgeting, harking back to a time when people dealt primarily with cash. It's straightforward, tangible, and can be surprisingly effective. Here's how it works. You take your income for the month and divide it up into different envelopes, each labeled for a specific spending category. These categories might include groceries, rent or mortgage, utilities, entertainment, and so on. The idea is that you only spend what's in each envelope for that category. Once it's gone, it's gone. No dipping into the other envelopes allowed. Now the envelope system has some distinct benefits. First, it forces you to be more mindful about your spending. It's easy to swipe a card and lose track of where your money is going, but when you physically hand over cash, it's a lot harder to ignore. Second, it can help curb impulse spending. If you only have $20 left in your entertainment envelope, you might think twice about buying that $25 movie ticket. Third, it gives you a clear visual representation of where your money is going. You can see at a glance how much you have left for each category, and adjust your spending habits accordingly. But the envelope system isn't without its drawbacks. For one, it's not very practical in a world where many transactions are digital. Also, it can be risky to carry around large amounts of cash or leave it lying around at home. Plus, it doesn't lend itself well to saving for larger long-term goals. Some people have adapted the envelope system for the digital age by using multiple bank accounts or budgeting apps. These can replicate the sense of having separate envelopes for different expenses, while keeping your money secure. The envelope system can be a great way to visually see where your money is going, but it might not be ideal for everyone. What if I told you that the key to budgeting might be to have $0 left at the end of the month? Sounds wild, right? But that's exactly what zero-based budgeting is all about. This method, my friends, isn't about spending all your money. Instead, it's about giving every dollar a purpose, a job if you will, until there's nothing left unallocated. Now let's break it down a bit. Zero-based budgeting is a proactive approach to managing your finances. It starts with your total income for the month. From there, you subtract all your expenses, from the necessities like rent and groceries, to the fun stuff like that new album drop you've been waiting for. You also account for savings and investments. The goal is to subtract until you hit zero. But here's the catch, you're not trying to spend every dollar. You're trying to allocate every dollar. This means even if you're left with $50, you need to decide where that 50 goes. Maybe it's to your emergency fund, or perhaps it's to treat yourself to that limited edition sneaker drop next month. The benefits of this method are pretty neat. It gives you control and visibility over your finances. It makes you intentional about where your money goes, and it could help curb impulsive spending. Of course, no method is without its drawbacks. Zero-based budgeting can be a bit time-consuming. It requires you to keep track of every dollar and adjust your budget as needed. It can also feel restrictive, especially if you're used to more flexibility with your spending. But remember, budgeting methods aren't one-size-fits-all. You have to find what works best for you. Maybe it's a mix of the 50-30-20 rule and zero-based budgeting, or perhaps it's something entirely different. The zero-based budget can be a powerful tool for controlling your spending, but it does require a bit more time and attention. So if you're up for the challenge, zero-based budgeting might just be the key to mastering your finances. So, we've covered 3 popular methods of budgeting. Which one sounds like it might be a fit for you? Let's do a quick recap. We started with the 50-30-20 method. Remember, it's about splitting your after-tax income into 3 categories. 50% for necessities, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings or paying off debt. It's a simple, straightforward approach, but it might not be the best fit if your essential expenses are significantly more than half your income. Then we moved on to the envelope system. This is all about allocating every dollar you earn into specific envelopes or categories. The key here is discipline. Once the money in a category is spent, that's it until the next pay period. It's a great way to curb overspending, but it may feel a bit restrictive to some, and it requires a good deal of organization. Finally, we discussed the zero-based budget. This method asks you to make income minus outgo equal zero every month. It's a proactive approach, as it encourages you to assign a job to every dollar before the month begins. However, it might be a bit time-consuming, and it can be tough if your income varies from month to month. Of course, these are not the only budgeting methods out there, but they are among the most popular and have proven effective for many. The key is to find the one that works best for you and your unique financial situation and goals. That might mean trying out a few different methods before you find your perfect fit. And above all, remember that budgeting is not about restricting yourself. It's about understanding your money, making informed decisions, and taking control of your financial future. It's about making your money work for you, not the other way around. Remember, the best budgeting method is the one that you can stick to. Happy budgeting!